It's a springtime spectacle on the prairies and farmlands of the Dakotas as tens of thousands of snow geese migrate north to their spring tundra nesting grounds. And each spring, hunters from all over the Midwest gather to meet them in a classic example of how sportsmen can play a positive role in helping manage goose populations. And leave it to the people of the Northland to find a way to make biking a winter pastime. It's the fat bike phenomenon, and it's the newest wintertime rage. That's all next on Northland Outdoors. There are few sights in nature more awe-inspiring than the annual spring snow goose migration. Every year, a staggering 15 to 20 million snow geese travel from wintering grounds in the south to nesting grounds in the Canadian tundra, stopping and feasting on prairie farm fields throughout the Dakotas along the way. It's an incredible sight, yes, but biologists agree there are just too many. Maybe not here in the States, but on the tundra, the overpopulation is causing serious damage to the landscape.
The light goose population, especially in the mid-continent, is causing some habitat degradation issues on the breeding grounds from basically removing the vegetation from the landscape due to their feeding activities. Some of the effects that the mid-continent light goose population, including Ross's geese and snow geese, are having is they get up there and the vegetation that's on the landscape, whether it's sedges or grasses, are their food source. So when there's too many of them, they actually remove not only the growing shoots but the roots and tubers, and it changes the landscape up there because those grasses and sedges take a long time to regenerate. I don't think anybody has a real good estimate on the number of acres, but it's in some cases it's many thousands of acres locally. They're colony nesters, so in their local breeding colony vicinity, that degradation is extreme. Originally, these lesser snow geese nested basically in kind of brackish saline marshes along the coast, and especially in the Hudson Bay area. After those areas were destroyed, they've actually started to move inland, and they're moving into freshwater habitats and even into some wooded habitats to nest. And it's a way that they're escaping kind of carrying capacity and density dependency, and why those populations are not being impacted by the sheer numbers. There was a lot of biologists, 20 years ago, that thought they would reach a population level and just kind of self-limit, and it just has not happened.
Almost stabbed you. All right, only 1,300 more to go.
Snow goose hunting in the spring in South Dakota is generally pretty liberal. Guys don't have to have plugs in their shotguns. You can use electronic calls, unlimited bag limits, daily limits for snow geese in the spring. And basically the reason for that is trying to save their habitat up in the tundra where they roost and nest. When they nest up in the tundra, there's so many snow geese, they're overpopulated, and they're ruining the tundra. So the feds quite a few years ago decided that in the spring we'd make the limits a little bit more liberal and take away the restriction for plugs and e-collars like we have in the fall, and try and harvest some more of those snow geese.
So we drove by this field yesterday, probably had 5,000 or so snow geese, along with Canada geese, white-fronted geese, ducks everywhere. It was actually a really cool sight. But that's what we want to find. We wanted to find a large feed of several thousand snow geese for us to want to put in the effort and the time to throw all these decoys up. So they're roosting probably about a mile to the northeast right now, which they're a little close, but we're hoping we can get them to come off of that, come over here to grab a snack, and come in small bunches, and then do it all morning long. And if that happens, we're in for a good morning. A little foggy today. Sometimes they don't like to fly in the fog. But if they do fly in the fog and they come into your spread, it's one of those days you end up remembering for a long time.
Goose are up.
All right, cover up.
Hide yourselves. Hide the women and children.
Somebody shoot it. Yeah, he's going down. Hey, we got one. All the geese are up over here.
It's enough to make even the most seasoned waterfowl hunter weak in the knees. So many white geese that the sky turns black. And this is just the start of our South Dakota spring snow goose adventure. Stay tuned.
When a pair of Red Wing work boots leaves the store, they end up places. Upon a construction site by South Fargo, to climbing up a grain bin in Moorhead, within a warehouse in West Fargo, throughout the farmland of the Red River Valley, and across the oil fields of western North Dakota. But wherever they end up, they hold up comfort, reliability, and long-lasting quality. Red Wing Shoes, Main Avenue, Fargo.
Hun, I told you we can talk about this when I get home.
Paging Dr. Statement. Dr. Statement, please.
Wily Wallaby, the thick and juicy licorice, really packs a wallop.
Why hunt the Western Edge? Whether you're traveling west for your first hunt or you're a frequent visitor, Dickinson is the perfect place for your fall hunting getaway. Dickinson, North Dakota has many affordable lodging options, and the birds are waiting for you. You'll be dog-tired and limit-filled. Visit Dickinson and hunt the Western Edge. Go to visitdickinson.com or call us at 1-800-279-7391, and we'll help you plan your trip.
Before the dawn, before the decoys, before the call. It starts with a passion, and that passion starts at Runnings. The best gear and supplies from the most trusted brands in hunting. When you get the shot, will you be ready? Runnings, your home, farm, and outdoor store.
High on a hill in a South Dakota cornfield, the Northland Outdoors team is on a spring snow goose hunt. While there are thousands of snow geese in the area, they are not alone. With the addition of the ducks and the Canadian geese, the sky above the decoy spread is alive with birds. A waterfowler's dream.
You know, you do this in the fall and you hope for ducks to come in that close, and some days they do, but a lot of times they never come in like this in the fall. And yeah, it'd be great to hunt them and get them this close and shoot them, but it's just cool to have them come in this close and see them like this. I mean, it's as close to a hunting situation as you can get. This right here, I mean, I love to hunt snow geese, but seeing these ducks work, seeing the Canadas and the white fronts or specks, seeing them work like this and literally getting within arm's reach is one of the reasons I love to come out here in the spring. We got geese, guys. Cover up. All right. We got 2.
Probably 5, 10, 15 years ago, it was mostly guys pass shooting. You know, they might have a few garbage sacks or some old pillowcases or something and use those for decoys. Those days are kind of gone. Still a few pass shooters around. Some guys that'll sit, especially windy days. We get a few guys around this area that'll hunt that way. But for the most part, it seems like guys are coming from Minnesota, Wisconsin, Illinois. And we have a lot of guides in the area, kind of more so in the Aberdeen area, that'll start down in Missouri and chase the snow geese all the way up into North Dakota. And you know, they're hunting with thousands of sock decoys, a lot of full bodies, you know, you name it. But the name of the game has really changed a little bit, especially with the equipment and how guys hunt them.
Nice shot. Nice shot. Nice shot. Good girl. Good girl. Hold. Hold. Heel. So this one is a Ross's goose, or we call them Rossies. And the way you can tell a Ross's goose is usually they decoy closer than most of the other geese. They're a smaller goose in size. They have a smaller beak, and then when they get a little bit older, they get all these warts on their beaks right here. And you can see this one's warted up pretty good. It's kind of a neat distinction, a neat characteristic to the smaller goose that we hunt here in the spring. Well, it's a good day out here in the spread. Got to shoot some geese. Got to see a lot of geese here today with widgeon and pintails and mallards at about 4 feet. But we got rain coming. It's after sunset, just a few minutes left to legal shooting time. We're gonna pack up before this rain hits. Get a good night's sleep tonight. We'll come back and do it again tomorrow.
When a pair of Red Wing work boots leaves the store, they end up places. Upon a construction site by South Fargo, to climbing up a grain bin in Moorhead, within a warehouse in West Fargo, throughout the farmland of the Red River Valley, and across the oil fields of western North Dakota. But wherever they end up, they hold up comfort, reliability, and long-lasting quality. Red Wing Shoes, Main Avenue, Fargo.
Everything you need for your home, farm, and the great outdoors is all under one roof at your local Running store. Running sells the top brands of hunting, fishing, and archery equipment you need to land the big one, and premium pet food and supplies. Count on Runnings for quality and selection at a fair price, plus hometown friendly sales associates to help you find what you need. Runnings, your home, farm, and outdoor store.
I'm Amy Enra. We're working on something extra just for you. The news at 9, weeknights on WDAY's Extra. It's the latest addition to our expanding news coverage. Your money, your health, stories that focus on you. Fast-paced, interactive, local weather, social media. Your free time, your family time, your fun time. Something extra from your news leader. The news at 9, weeknights on WDAY's Extra.
Where do you go for the latest news in agriculture? Ag Week magazine. Reaching over 30,000 farmers and ranchers in North Dakota, Minnesota, South Dakota, and Montana. Ag Week provides the most up-to-date information on the markets, the trends, and the people who make it all happen. We're your source for news, not fluff. Dependable, trusted, Ag Week. Subscribe today by calling 1-800-811-2580.
Why hunt the Western Edge? Whether you're traveling west for your first hunt or you're a frequent visitor, Dickinson is the perfect place for your fall hunting getaway. Dickinson, North Dakota has many affordable lodging options, and the birds are waiting for you. You'll be dog-tired and limit-filled. Visit Dickinson and hunt the Western Edge. Go to visitdickinson.com or call us at 1-800-279-7391, and we'll help you plan your trip.
Last year, when we spent those 6 weeks out here, Tony, we hunted primarily Nebraska and South Dakota, which is kind of where you get the name mid-migration outfitters, I suppose, because that's only part of it. Where do people start hunting these geese?
As far down as Texas, I'd say the most popular place is Arkansas to start. And then they'll jump up into Missouri and Nebraska and South Dakota and North Dakota and follow them all the way up.
Tony, talk about why you do this, why you get up at 3:30 in the morning, why you set out 2,000 decoys. Why do you go through all the work to do this?
It's just something that I love to do. You know, you've been there right with me last year. We traveled up through the Nebraska and the Dakotas and got to see kind of firsthand, and it's just something that's completely addictive, and it's a lot of work. You really have to dig down sometimes to get through it, but I absolutely love it. I do it in the spring, I do it in the fall, and I wouldn't change it for anything. One up front.
I've been in this area for 5 years now, and I would say each year we probably see more snow goose hunters showing up. So it seems to be more popular, and guys are coming in bigger groups and more decoys and you name it. Definitely an economic boost, especially around the Webster and Aberdeen area. It seems to be kind of a hub for the snow goose hunters. You know, they come. They're buying licenses here, buying groceries, gas, staying in hotels, you name it. They're spending a lot of money. So the economic impacts of the snow goose season, especially in our neck of the woods, is pretty incredible.
Research up in the Arctic shows when you have exclusions of areas that were degraded, you do get recovery. You know, you don't have a very long growing season up there, so it takes a long time. That's what the Hudson Bay project and some of those other projects up there are looking at is how long will it take for full recovery, and I don't think there's a great estimate on that because the time frame just we haven't had that much time yet to show recovery yet, to at least a full recovery, but it does show some recovery pretty quickly.
So Tony, tell us what happened there.
Well, basically we were just in the blinds and hanging out, and these birds kind of came out of nowhere. With this heavy wind, they sucked right up in front of us, and we got a good shot at them. A lot of the birds that we've been killing are, you know, 3 to probably 5-year-old age group, and most of them older ones, they're long past us by now. But
this is good. These are the birds they want us to target out here.
Absolutely. Yep. These are the beginning of the breeding birds. Age-wise, you know, the younger breeding birds, and that's what we need to kill to actually reduce the population.
It's an incredible spring spectacle that provides wildlife enthusiasts one of those rare opportunities to experience birds on a massive scale, and gives hunters the chance to do what they love in the spring of the year, and in the process, make a positive impact on a species struggling with the devastating effects of overpopulation. When Northland Outdoors returns, it's midwinter at the Cuyuna Country State Recreation Area. The lakes are frozen and the snow is deep, but that doesn't slow down these bike racing enthusiasts. Stay tuned.
River Falls, Minnesota has over 2 million acres of public hunting land for bear, deer, ducks, ruffed and sharp-tailed grouse. With a growing Canada goose population, Thief River Falls is an untapped bonanza for waterfowl hunters. With the ideal mix of forest and prairie, Thief River Falls is the prime area for any kind of hunting in the state. Visit Thief River Falls and experience it all.
Everything you need for your home, farm, and the great outdoors is all under one roof at your local running store. Running sells the top brands of hunting, fishing, and archery equipment you need to land the big one, and premium pet food and supplies. Count on Runnings for quality and selection at a fair price, plus hometown friendly sales associates to help you find what you need. Runnings, your home, farm, and outdoor store.
I'm Amy Enra. We're working on something extra just for you. The news at 9, weeknights on WDAY's Extra. It's the latest addition to our expanding news coverage. Your money, your health, stories that focus on you. Fast-paced, interactive, local weather, social media. Your free time, your family time, your fun time. Something extra from your news leader. The news at 9, weeknights on WDAY's Extra.
Our champ, always on a mission, in search for fish and meat. I wonder if he knows the same goes for our four-legged champ of the family, with super premium Nutrisource pet food. I know you know Max. Just an all-natural fish or meat-based formula with their exclusive Good for Life system.
Well, I'm ready.
So is Max, I assure you.
Because you want the best for every member of your family. Nutrisource says super premium pet food.
Why hunt the Western Edge? Whether you're traveling west for your first hunt or you're a frequent visitor, Dickinson is the perfect place for your fall hunting getaway. Dickinson, North Dakota has many affordable lodging options, and the birds are waiting for you. You'll be dog-tired and limit-filled. Visit Dickinson and hunt the Western Edge. Go to visitdickinson.com or call us at 1-800-279-7391, and we'll help you plan your trip.
It's early February in the Cuyuna Country Recreation Area near Crosby, Minnesota. In the past, midwinter would have been a quiet time in the park. But thanks to this chubby newcomer to the biking world, known as a fat bike, it's not quiet anymore.
What a fat bike is a bicycle, and it's not just any bicycle, but it's a bicycle built around a wider tire. And they start at about 3.7 inches wide all the way up to now 5+ inches wide. And the whole fork and everything has to be built around that frame. And what that tire does is it provides you flotation, whether that be on beach sand or whether that be in Minnesota snow. It gives you the ability to go where you couldn't go before.
I retired and took up biking. And I started out with doing basically what's called mountain biking with mountain bikes. And then when we saw the opportunity to do some winter biking here, I got my first fat bike and found that the winter biking was a separate challenge and almost a separate sport, and got to like it.
I used to cross-country ski as cross-training, and with a fat bike you can ride your mountain bike all year round. And so just having one more kind of bike in the bike garage gives you way more options to get out and ride whatever day you want.
This particular gathering of fat bike enthusiasts is known as the whiteout. Over 300 cyclists gather every winter to compete in races from a beginner level 10K to a grueling expert 30K that is part of the Great Lakes Fat Bike Series.
Where I live, I come from kind of bigger mountain areas, and I live at 6,000 feet, and but this is kind of more rolly terrain and definitely lots of trees, which is really neat to see. And then, every place is definitely different. I've ridden fat bikes all over, and I think that's kind of the pleasure of it.
The first fat bike races I did, I would usually be on the podium because I'd be the only girl, which was good and bad. But there's so many more girls that are coming to fat biking who haven't raced before, just because it's more of a fun atmosphere. And then we're seeing crossover of people who road ride or do triathlons that are hearing about the fat bike community and joining as well.
The race is certainly the main event, but the whiteout is a full weekend dedicated to the fat bike, including a unique night ride that takes adventure biking to a new level.
And when I first heard ride your bike at night, I said, no way. First of all, I thought they didn't use a light, so I thought that'd be scary. But okay, you do use a light, so that's good, but I still said no way. But when you actually go out there and ride at night, and if you can get a night where it's all stars, and you can see the constellations, because in Cuyuna we don't have light pollution. You can look straight up, and you're riding, and you look up, and it's a moment you won't forget. And we like to honor that and hope for that kind of opportunity for our traveling customers to have themselves.
Three, 2, 1. And they're off, ladies and gentlemen. They are running down as a large rainbow race.
In Minnesota, at least Cuyuna specifically, like this event weekend, we have people coming all the way down from Nebraska and all the way up from Canada and every state in between. It's a draw from the entire Midwest. You know, that being our goal, no, we would have a goal to get from sea to shining sea. But you can already see the relevance and the draw to this authentic product we're creating in Cuyuna based around single track fat biking. It's the course we've always wanted, but Old Man Winter said we could never have. We've had it planned for 3 years, and every time we'd get ice or we'd get too much snow, so we'd have to move it to just Sagamore. And this is the first time all the moving parts have aligned to hopefully let us race the Cuyuna Gold.
After 30 grueling kilometers winding through the Cuyuna wilderness, this year's whiteout came down to a final stretch sprint between Jeff Hall of Farmington, Minnesota, and Matt Acker from Grand Rapids, Minnesota.
He's not giving up, and he's pushing now, but he can't make it.
A lot of turning out there. There wasn't much climbing, so it's hard to get the legs going, you know, really fast because there's so many corners and it's icy and whatnot. So, you know, it's just kind of a lot of bike control. The trail's skinny. If you get off the trail, you're kind of going to the deep snow. So a lot of concentration at this one. Not so much the legs, it's more just turning the upper body and concentrating on the trail.
In the 5 years that we've put on the whiteout, we've seen fat bikes expand to the whole country. It's just grown like crazy. 1 year at Interbike, there was a couple fat bikes. The next year at Interbike, that's all there was fat bikes. It has grown exponentially, and I truly believe it's because it allows a new user group that would never get on a mountain bike to get on a bike. And once they do, they can't wipe the smile off their face. And that's what it's about, having fun, being fit, and feeling good.